Hi, I'm John Brown. I'm going to talk to you today about Lena Watson. When we Browns first came to Randolph for the summer of 1971, Gwen Boothman arranged a summer rental of a cottage on the Hill Road. Right at the corner where the road turns sharply to the left, there's a little driveway straight ahead that led to a charming cottage where Lena Watson lived. Lena had retired to Randolph. She was the only person at the time to live year-round on the Hill Road. In the summer, she would rent out the house and move to a tiny screened pavilion with a core that had a bathroom and a rudimentary kitchen. She'd come to the United States from England as an adult and still spoke with something of a British accent. There'd been a Mr. Watson, but apparently the marriage was short-lived. She was manifestly well educated. Her library, largely of English literature, was extraordinary. As tenants, we had full access to her library. At the time, however, I was an untenured academic, so I did not see my way clear to use it. She told a tale of how she enjoyed walking up to Craig Camp in the fall. She would take a small box of books and sit on the porch and read for a couple of days. One time she was there during hunting season, and she heard a lot of rustling noise behind the cabin. Soon a pair of very large, sweaty, and very tired hunters came around to the porch. They were flabbergasted to see this tiny woman sitting on the porch, cool, composed, and comfortable, reading English literature. She warmly greeted them and gave them a cup of tea. The job from which she retired was as warden of the Framingham Women's Prison. But she did not speak much about it. She held that job even though her physique reminded one of a sparrow. She was a tiny woman. One can readily imagine that most of the inmates and most of the staff had never come across anyone like her. Her cottage was clearly built as a summer cottage, so winter had plenty of challenges. She got her water from a pipe from the Randolph Water Company, but that supply had been built clearly for summer cottages and was intended to be turned off the rest of the year. Lena's response to that problem was straightforward. She let the water run constantly, all year long. So it wasn't in the pipes long enough to freeze, even in the coldest winters. It was from Lena that we learned about ice dams on the roof. A warm roof will melt the snow on the roof, and on a cold night it will freeze into ice, not snow, and you'll get leaks. Her cottage had that problem in spades. There was one place where two angles of the roof came together, so ice dams were large and frequent. Someone took a photo of Lena up on a ladder with a hatchet, fiercely attacking the ice, and as far as I know, she had no leaks. The cottage had bedrooms upstairs. The feature I most remember about the house was that the floor upstairs was made of unfinished pine. It had been sanded until the surface felt like silk underfoot. We tried to copy that years later when we built our own house in Randolph, but to no avail. Her car was a much-used yellow hippie VW Bug of a certain age. The yellow was bright and was covered with large butterfly decals from the previous owner. She parked it at the end of her driveway by the road, so plowing the driveway was unnecessary. She was instantly recognizable throughout the North Country just by her car, by everyone in town. Eventually, Lena had to leave her house in Randolph. She was moved to a small apartment on School Street in Gorham. Later, she went to the Coos County home, where soon after she died.